The history, not just the recent history which you had, but it goes way, way, way back for Coach Smith playing at Kansas and so many important meetings in between. Roy was there, even Larry Brown, who was a star here, led them to a title. What do you know about the history between these two?
Well, only brief. I know that Roy coached there, and just from you telling me Dean Smith played there. So I think there's some Carolina ties there, and I think this will just be a great game for both of our teams. You know, just from Carolina and the Kansas history, just to have a lot of Hall of Fame coaches from both universities, just be a part of this game. I mean, last time I played Kansas was my sophomore year, and that's the most recent time that I go back to. But I know it goes beyond when I was playing, so I'm excited for it.
They have a couple guys still from that team, Juan Harris. How much did you have to deal with him in that title game?
Yeah, I mean, so it's crazy because I played the one when I was in high school. I'm gonna say on the EYBL circuit. He was playing for Mocan, and then matched up with him again in my sophomore year in the championship game. He's a really good guard defensively. He makes for the others. He's able to get downhill, so definitely looking forward to that matchup again. So yeah.
RJ, we've seen so many games that get scheduled now are always neutral court. You know, it doesn't feel like there's as many home and homes, and this was going to be one. This is next year. You know, we've seen Duke and Arizona are doing it right now. Like, as a player, like, how exciting is that? That it's kind of, we don't see these kind of games between marquee teams anymore on each other's home courts. It seems like non-conference wise.
Yeah, I mean that's big time. I think it's great for college basketball, just to have these these home and away games and kind of alternate each year. I think it's great for college basketball, and it's a different environment. For us, it's like we're going down there to their stadium, and then it could be vice versa next year. So just to get a feel for the environment, the energy, what different crowds bring, I think that's just huge for college basketball in general. And it's something that each player should aspire and look forward to, because you only get these type of games and type of moments once in a while. So it's definitely something that you want to look back on, and definitely something that you want to take full advantage of, because it's fun at the end of the day.
I know it's been two seasons have passed since you played them last, but what stands out just in your mind in particular about that national championship game in New Orleans?
Yeah, I mean that we were just one rebound away from winning it. Definitely something that the following year I was rewatching that game over and over again, because you get so close to your dream that you set just as a freshman or just as a high school athlete. Like, you always want to win a national championship just from watching different teams, different players play in March Madness, and you just want to be the last team standing. So just to be that close, it was definitely heartbreaking for me. A lot of emotions that I can remember from that game. I remember just looking up at the clock and then watching it hit zero and the buzzer go off, and it took a while for the tears to come, but they ended up going right down my face in terms of like just a lot of the hard work that we put in as a team throughout that year, the year we had, and how we changed that whole year around. It was a tremendous feeling, but just to end up short like that, it was heartbreaking. So it definitely motivated me, the next 2 years, but then also again this year.
You were sitting over there. What do they call it? The thumper? You had the thing on the bench, right?
Yeah.
During that game, trying to work the cramps out of your legs?
Yeah, I mean, I think for that year, we've played 5 to 6 guys, so all the way to the end. And obviously, like, your body's a temple, and sometimes, like, your body gives out. And I think we just, ended up short with in terms of our energy, and injuries played a role into it. I started cramping a little bit, so it's a lot when you're playing, 40 minutes every game, every night. But I enjoy doing it. I'm not going to sit here and complain about it. But I mean, definitely just remembering that just shows of how much, like, as a team, like, we really put a lot of hard work and basically put our lives on the line for that game and for that whole year, just to end up in the goal that we really wanted.
RJ, at this point, you're the only player on this UNC team that played in that game. How often do you get to, I guess, share those stories with some of the newer guys on the team, and do they ever ask you about it at all?
Yeah, I mean, I really haven't got the chance to really tell them about my experience. More so like Seth and Jay Watts, because they came the year after.
Right.
So they've watched. I think Seth was down there in New Orleans. It was pretty funny story. I'm gonna say his senior year, but more so those two guys because they were like the next year up, and just to kind of tell them about the experience and how hard it is to get to the national championship. Like, it's not an easy road, but I think that's what I've instilled in the guys this year. Like, this year's gonna be hard. There's gonna be times where there's good and bad times, but we have to embrace all of those and stay together as a team because it's gonna be a roller coaster. You're gonna have games where things go your way and when they don't. That's the way basketball works. And but at the same time, understanding who we are as a team, who we are as a culture in the university, and it's an experience that you should embrace. Like, obviously, this comes with expectations and a lot of outside noise, but I think one thing about it is you should always run towards it, never away from it, because expectations and pressures are privilege. And here in North Carolina, that comes with that, but I mean, I think we're all here for a reason.
To go off of that a little bit, last week we were talking to Hubert actually, and he was saying that he's kind of talked to you about being and he described you as like the connector or whatever, like between obviously the new guys and the transfers and things like that. But you, having been here for a long time, how have you kind of embraced that role of maybe leadership and like some of the stuff you were just saying of, kind of imparting, some of your experience to the guys that are, just getting here for the first time?
Yeah, it's been new, but I've adapted to it really well, I believe so. Just in terms of putting myself in situations where I feel uncomfortable, that way I can feel comfortable. And kind of just like, it allows you to learn more about yourself. Like, I've always been a lead by an example type of leader, but now it's more about being more vocal, having a good spirit, because that uplifts others. Like, I have to make sure that I'm doing my job in terms of making sure everyone is good, make sure there's good spirits, not just in the locker room, on the court, even in practice, because there can be days when everyone's in their head, and that's normal, that's life. And I've learned that through my 5 years of doing this, being around here, and that's what I learned. So, like, obviously me and Coach Davies had a lot of conversations about me being the connector, and now I'm the older guy, and it's going to be difficult because, it's a lot of younger guys and new faces, and usually we have, a couple older guys, maybe like 4 to 6, and now it's just basically me and Jay Witt, but I've been here the longest, so I've done seen the ins and outs. I know how things roll, so just taking that challenge and understanding that I'm capable of doing it, I'm embracing it.
RJ, a couple more guys. Last year, Elliot was a high school senior playing college ball.
Mm-hmm.
How have you seen him grow, and in what ways going into this year?
Yeah, I mean, I think Elliot has always been a phenomenal player, point guard, playmaker, I mean, whatever you want to call it. Just his strides as last year, just for classifying up as a senior going to be a freshman. Like, last year, he could have been in high school, and you could see spurts of his games where it's like, he seems mature. It seems like the game slowed down. And whereas this year, he's confident, he's vocal, and he's doing what Elliot does. And I think that's just a testament to his true work ethic. He works really hard. He's hard on himself when things don't go his way, but I think that just shows that he just wants to be great. And just to see the success and the strides he's made this offseason and leading up to game time now, I'm super proud of him. And I know he's got a lot more left in the tank for him to just kind of show you guys that we've been seeing all along. But he's going to be really great for us, so I'm proud.
What do you remember about Griffin from the Alabama game last March?
Yeah, I know he was guarding me the whole game. They obviously had a longer defender just so it didn't make it difficult for me to make tougher shots, kind of push out on the perimeter for to catch the basketball. So just little stuff like that. I think I rewatched that game. Most of the shots were all good looks. There weren't anything that were difficult for me to make. I just missed them. So, but he's a great defender. I remember seeing him in CP3 camp as well. So, definitely looking forward to it again.
But you didn't guard him.
No, I think I started Estrada.
Last one, Adam.
Thank you. How much have you guys, Hubert was in here earlier and said that I think they counted 15 missed layups and dunks.
I think it started with me. I missed a lot of the layups.
I mean, there were several.
Yeah.
So how much have you guys heard about that from the coaches since the other night, and how much has finishing better been sort of one of the talking points these last couple of days?
Yeah, I mean, it's been huge. I mean, we've seen it over and over again in film, so He harped on that in film sessions, but and I'm pretty sure we have a finishing drill today in practice because we did yesterday. So he knows we're athletic. He knows we're capable of making those layups, but now we just got to more so just concentrate and focus on doing it because we can do it. I think sometimes we just get out of character in the way of just kind of just. He always says make the easy play, and I think sometimes we really don't do that. We try to go for home runs. So just finishing around the rim and being strong with the ball, be confident when we go into the lane, and focus on finishing because we're athletic for a reason. So we have to use those abilities.
Thanks, RJ.
Thanks, RJ.
Thank you, guys.